I never saw Adrian Cole. The yearbook swears I did. Last day of 8th grade. Packed hallways, smell of sanitizer and markers. Teachers rounded up the yearbooks and shuffled them through classrooms. I was flipping mine, laughing at dumb notes, when I stopped. Under a photo I didn't recognize, there was a signature, Adrian Cole. The message, HAGS, I'll see you again. Short. It felt aimed at me. I stared at the photo too long. Average face, average hair, school uniform. I knew that entire year by heart. I didn't remember Adrian in class, in the hall, in the lunch line. Nothing. I turned the page. Turned back. The photo was still there like it had always belonged. That night, we were in the basement for a send-off. Kevin, David, Kieran. Doritos, games, voices loud with my parents asleep 3 floors up. Near 2 a.m., 3 knocks at the back door. Pause. The same 3 again. No one knocks there. The basement has no exterior window. Kieran yelled, "Who's there?" Long silence. Then a teen voice, too light, like a friend, "Come to the back door." We went up slow. Through the narrow pane beside the frame, a shape stood under the weak yard light. I leaned in. Saw the face. The same as the photo. Adrian Cole. My stomach dropped. My friends reached for the latch. I caught their hands. Whispered, "I know that kid, from my yearbook." He motioned toward the kitchen window. I opened it an inch. Cold air slid in. "So you read my message," he said, a small smile. "I watched you all year. We would have been good friends." I nodded to keep it calm. I asked how he knew my address. He didn't answer. David muttered, "Creepy stalker." The smile fell. His eyes changed. Then he started saying things he shouldn't know, the name of the girl I liked, a detail from the argument I'd had with my dad last week, a nickname only Kevin uses for me. His hand rose to the glass. Tried the window. I threw the lock. He hit back. Once, twice, 3 times. "Open," he said, using my full name. Open. The noise dragged my parents downstairs. When my dad opened the door, the yard was empty. He walked the block. No one. In the morning, the yearbook sat open on the table. Same photo. Same name. Same signature. My parents called the school. They said they'd check. We tried to find any contact, any profile, any address. Nothing. The name existed only in the yearbook. Beyond it, we couldn't find any information. What stayed with me is my hand bracing the window, the way he said my name, and the question that hasn't left since that night: how did he know where I lived? We were college freshmen, still drunk on freedom. That night we were at Adam's house, me, Garrett, and Chris. Cold pizza on the table, beer cans on the floor, nothing unusual. Around midnight, Garrett wanted to take a walk. We followed him, laughing too loud, not caring about the time. That's when we saw him. A man sitting on the curb, buried in a dirty coat, staring at nothing. Garrett laughed first. Said something cruel. Chris joined in. I stayed quiet. The man didn't move. Didn't look at us. Just sat there. We went back to Adam's place, pretending it was funny, but it stuck with me. The way he didn't react, it felt wrong. About an hour later, we were half asleep in front of the TV. That's when I heard it, slow footsteps outside, crunching through the leaves, circling the house. I looked at Adam. He had heard it too. Then came a knock at the sliding glass door. Not light. Heavy. Dragging. We turned together. The man from the street was standing in Adam's backyard. Garrett laughed, nervous. It's just that homeless guy. He followed us. But his voice cracked halfway through. The man pressed his face against the glass. Under the porch light, his skin looked pale, his breath fogging up the door. He whispered something we couldn't understand. "Don't open it," Chris said. Adam didn't move. The man hit the glass harder. Then again. On the third strike, the whole door shook. Garrett shouted at him to leave. That's when the man looked past everyone else, straight at me. And smiled. He slammed his fist once more. The glass cracked at the edge. We ran. I don't remember how we got upstairs. I just remember all of us pressed against Adam's bedroom door, holding our breath. Then the sounds came from inside the house. He had forced his way in. We heard his feet dragging across the floor. And the scrape of something heavy being pulled along. We stayed silent for nearly an hour, waiting for him to leave. And then, nothing. It just stopped. When Adam's dad came home in the morning, the back door was wide open. The kitchen floor was dirty, covered in footprints, mud, dirt, marks everywhere, as if someone had walked through the house all night. But the house was empty. We never saw that man again. And I still don't know why he smiled at me. In every school there are the loners. But Sven was different. He wasn't just quiet. He felt misplaced. He had no friends, belonged to no group, and yet he was always around when something strange happened. It was like he was recording everything in silence, waiting for the right moment. That week, rumors started spreading. People said boys from outside had been sneaking into the school after hours. No one knew where they came from or how they got in. Some claimed they saw shadows near the gym. Others said it was just a story. The darker rumor was that they planned to set the school on fire. Most people laughed it off. But I noticed Sven, sitting at the back of the class, smiling to himself. On Friday, minutes before the last lesson ended, the alarm went off. This wasn't a drill. Teachers shouting, students pushing through the hallways, the metallic ringing cutting into our ears. And in the middle of the chaos, Sven was standing still, leaning against the wall, like he had been waiting for it. We were evacuated outside. Police cars and fire trucks arrived almost immediately. Someone reported that gasoline had been found near the sports storage building. In the confusion, some students swore they saw 3 unknown boys running out of the school. No one knew who they were. No one could identify them. The security cameras were checked. The footage showed shadows moving, but never a clear image. No faces. By Monday, Sven was gone. The story was that his family had moved away. But no one knew where he had lived. No teacher ever mentioned parents. No one could confirm an address. The case was closed without answers. In the records, it only says, arson attempt. Suspects unidentified. Investigation terminated for lack of evidence. The fire never started. But the gasoline was real. And to this day, no one knows who brought it inside. Another file closes, but many remain. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one.